Good morning. Happy fall. I haven't done an actual video in a little bit. I work on orders every waking minute. Not every waking minute, but every extra minute. But I still take plenty of time to make stuff for myself. As y'all know, we're coming up on the end of the year. Things get super busy for me at the end of the year because the last couple of years I've sent my bags to Cake Palooza for the New York State Sheep and Wool Festival weekend. And then I've had a couple of bigger wholesale orders this year. So I've been wanting to do just a basic summation of what I do during the week, just what I'm working on, because as you know, I've finished a lot of projects. I have a huge list of FOs at the end of every year because I'm making all the time. It's just what I love to do. So, starting today, it's not Monday, but it's Tuesday, which is technically the first day of my work week. So, the goal for this video is Tuesday through Monday. And we're going to see how that goes. So, New York Sheep and Wool just happened last weekend, and my bags were there. Jessica, Hooks and Coffee, also lets me shop via video. So I have loot coming from that. I'm very excited about lots of fun yarn and merch. And our local Sheep and Wool Festival, which is SAFF, SAFF. I'll have to add what it stands for. I always thought it stood for Southern Appalachian Fiber Festival. 100% not what it stands for. It's like Southeastern Animal something. You'll be seeing it on the screen right now. So there's the little summation. Today is October 21st. And I'm going to show you what I'm working on currently. I would like to give a little update about when I was doing the Happy Meals over this. So it was a year ago. Were the minis? No, I was collecting the Crocs. Happy Meals are one of my favorite things. Not to eat, but the toys. I buy the toys and not the actual Happy Meals, unless there's a small child that, you know what I mean. So they did a miniature McDonald's collection, and Boo Buckets were one of those because these are iconic. So aside from the regular collection, I got 2 to wear as earrings, and I wore them last week, and you can see me in them on Instagram. Okay, here's what we are working on. First, currently I'm getting ready to go sew these numbers on a t-shirt. So the first one of these shirts that I made was my birth year, which is 75, and I did it with floral color work. It turned out so cute. So I did it on a t-shirt, and then I did Mahomes jersey and the Chiefs away jersey colors because I could not find a red t-shirt that I liked. So I just did a white t-shirt and then did the numbers. And I had several people message me. And so the first one I am making is a Josh Allen home jersey, which you'll see there'll be a reel probably tomorrow or the next day with it. And then I have a couple more that I have to make. I'm excited. One of the people that wants me to make them is an LSU fan, and I will just be doing the number, and she's actually going to sew it on herself. So that excites me because I've noticed that there's a fear of sewing knitted or crochet items. And I don't know why. I guess just because people aren't comfortable with it. I'm super comfortable with it because I've been doing both of the things all my life. So it wasn't even a thought. I just do it. But it's super easy and fast. And, I've said it lots of other times for sticking or sewing pieces together. It's so fast and so secure. Okay, end of that story. So I'm going to have to get up. What time is it? It's 7:50. So normally I get up at 5 a.m. or a little before and see the mister off to work. breakfast, you know, the whole little ditty. We watch a little bit of the news and freak out. Freak out solidly. And then he goes to work. And I start sewing normally. I do in the mornings because I'm fresh in the mornings and I can really crank it out. And then knitting or knitting or crochet is normally what I do in the evenings while we're watching football or, you know, TV, whatever. So that's normally how that works. Also, cross stitch was one of the first things I ever did. Was it the first thing? I mean, I started sewing really early, but I definitely started cross stitching before crochet. So this is probably it was before kindergarten. And I continued to cross stitch through, well, I was out of school because I cross stitched a wedding sampler for my first marriage, and then taught my daughter to cross stitch, and she cross stitched, oh, I actually have it here, Fluttershy from her generation of My Little Ponies. And so I've incorporated it into a little change purse again with her. So Fluttershy was her favorite. I've never done needlepoint because I felt like it was cheating because the canvas was already painted. But needlepoint and all the crafts have made a huge comeback since COVID. But it's so cool to see the younger generations doing all the crafts. Well, now Danielle has gotten into needlepoint because all of her friends are into needlepoint, and I'm probably gonna do some needlepoint. It'll be much easier to see than trying to do counted cross stitch. So I don't know, we'll see in the future. Okay, here's what else I'm working on. So this is the Mabel chicken. The pattern is on Ravelry, Etsy, and I'm thinking her website too. I can't think of the designer, but it's Mabel. And most people make them, and the pattern's designed for super bulky, like acrylic yarn that you would get at a big box store. But if you didn't know, I work at one of the best yarn shops in the country, Black Mountain Yarn Shop, and Spin Cycle, which if you don't know about it, you should definitely look it up. I just love it. And they have a chunky yarn, and so I wanted to just see how the chickens worked up in Plump, which is their chunky yarn. And they are beautiful, no surprise. The mods that I did is the beak on her chicken is flat, just like a couple stitches back and forth. And the comb is crocheted separate and then sewn onto the head, but I crocheted it right on the head. And I also gave them tail feathers, which is just 4 double knotted strands, and then I did put some fray check because wool yarn, if it's super wash, doesn't hold. So it's got some little fray check on there, and that's fine. So I've got these 2 finished ones. Ramon is crazy about this one. I'm gonna have to fight him about her. Oh, and then I just used some safety eyes for their eyes. So I made, and I was just using scraps of Spin Cycle. So here's the in progress. These are the finished bodies. They're so fun. The bottoms look like little, oh, well that doesn't, that looks like a cat's butt, but. So there's 4. Oh, I didn't even show that one upright. Oh, she's really cool on top. And the last one. Oh, this one looks really good on camera. Anyway, so what I'm going to do right now is crochet some combs on the top of their head. Well, I'm going to put the safety eyes in first, and then I will do the beaks, and then I'll sew them up and crochet the combs. So probably what will happen is I'll do the eyes and beaks. Actually, I think the beaks are easier when they're stuffed. So I might just do the beaks after I stuff them and sew them up, and then do the combs when I get to work, because I don't have any students this morning. Oh yes, if you didn't know, I teach classes before the yarn shop opens. I teach cross stitch, sewing, and crochet. And there's like 10 other people in the shop that teach knitting that know way more than me. So, okay, there's that. Also, what I started this weekend This is called the Confectioner Scarf. You can find the pattern on, the stripe doesn't show up so well in this light. This is the scraps from my Flora pullover, which I love, and I just finished. So I wanted to use the scraps in something. In regular light, this shows up much better. But it's a little bias, just 31 stitch across scarf that I just, on a whim, started this weekend. I actually was looking at the scraps from my Flora and was like, oh, these colors are so good. I need to put them into like a Le bandana. But I've made 3 of those. And so I went to my Ravelry library and saw that. And I've been waiting to start on it. And it happens to be the perfect weight. So it's fingering with fluff, held double, or just a straight DK yarn. And let's see, progress on my Christmas sweater. I surface crocheted the Be Merry onto it this weekend. Hopefully you can see because I cannot. Yep. Hopefully you can read what it says because I don't want to redo it. And then there will also be holly. I've crocheted the holly berries. But I want to do the leaves in this color. And as you can see, it's not wound up yet. So, because I've not come to that color in the sweater. So once I get to that color in the sweater, then I'll go back and do the holly leaves. As you can see, the yarn is sprinkled fibers. Oh, and speaking of sprinkled fibers, I'll show you what I'm getting ready to ship out to them. So Marcy, Lindsay is the yarn dyer, Sprinkle Fibers. Marcy is her mom. I sound just like the intro for their YouTube. She had a vintage quilt in these beautiful colors, and she wanted me to make her a Christmas tree skirt and stockings, and so I did. And I've actually posted the reel of me making them this morning. I'll just show you the stockings. They're so pretty. I cut the tree skirt out first and then did the stockings according to the, the size of scraps that I had left. So pretty. And I love Marcy's aesthetic, so I can't wait to see. And I'm not going to unfold the tree skirt, but she's in there. Very excited for them to get that. Halloween and Christmas are my favorites. Decorating for Christmas is my absolute favorite. I enjoy dressing for Halloween most, and then decorating for Christmas. But I do have wardrobes for both holidays. I made 3 things for the shop this weekend. It's a Santa project bag with a flannel drawstring run lined in red and a red t-shirt pocket on the back. This is from recycled t-shirt. This also is from a recycled t-shirt. It's a Guy Harvey classic, like vintage for real vinyl from back in the day. It's the swordfish. And I put his signed pocket on the back panel. It's an original with a purple zipper and a pretty deep oceany colored lining. That's going to the shop. And then I had a little scrap of this turkey print batik. I put a little aubergine zipper with a pretty green and orange plaid. So those 3 are going to the shop. They will be in my Etsy shop if they make it to the Etsy shop. Lots of times they sell out before I can even list them on the shop. So we will see. Okay, that's all we're doing for right now. I'll check back in a bit. Here's the update. We've eaten breakfast. I put the beaks on the chickens and stuffed the chickens. One of them, I didn't have enough eyes for one of them, so I'm gonna, I have some extra safety eyes at the shop. So when I get there, I'll put her eyes on, and then I'm gonna sew them up at the shop and put combs on them at the shop. I finished the Josh Allen t-shirt, and I'm going to head to the grocery store. I'm trying to put this on. Oh my god, the neck is super tight. I did not make this. Susie, her name's actually Susie Savage, which is a kick-ass name. Knit this last year, I think. She pounds out a lot of sweaters in a year. But she didn't want it when she finished it, so she gave it to me. I'm going to wear it. Once I get to work, I'm going to put it on under my overalls. But we are in the hot years of our life. So for the grocery store, I'm just throwing it on over because moving around I get hot and then I can pull it off easily. But I've got to run to the grocery store and get some sugar and make some tea and get some waters because this is my late night. I don't get home tonight until 9 p.m. because we have Maker's Night at the shop. So I'm headed to Ingles and then we'll come back and grab all our stuff for work. Well, as you can see, I'm now at work. Oh, do y'all remember Charming Charlie's? I don't know if it's still around anywhere, but I got these at Charming Charlie's. I used to love it. I used to love Charming Charlie's. Okay, so I just got here and I need to get the safety eyes and fix the one. I guess I'll do that first. The other ones all are ready to be sewn up, but let me go get safety eyes. Okay, her eyes are not going to be as flashy as everyone else's eyes because these are regular safety eyes, the OGs that are just black. There she is. There's blonde Bertha. The way I do it, see, these are just the black, solid black. So what I do when I'm putting them in, I flatten out the head and the beak is in the middle. So that lets me put them in. Oh, if you haven't seen what safety out, they're just there. They're like little screws. So you just place them in somewhere where they won't, like in a hole, but not in a hole that's so big. See little snappy backs that snap on? That's why they're safety eyes, because they won't come off. But if you put it in a hole that's bigger than what the little clip is, then they can come off, of course. Okay. Chirp, chirp. Oh, she's sweet. She's sweet. She looks like she has glaucoma, but it's fine. Alright, so I just have a little stash of random craft supplies here at the store. So the shop is all natural fibers. So like we don't sell polyfill or anything like that. So I keep, especially during the summer, because there's a lot of kids that go to camp here in Black Mountain. See how it just clamps down on that and it locks. And a lot of them are doing crochet, little like amigurumi, and they want eyes. So they always come in and ask if we sell polyfill, you know. So I just keep a big bag of it here so I can just give them some for free so they can go back to camp and make their wonderful makes. Okay. Blonde Bertha is blind no more. She can now see. We have been nonstop all day. The store just emptied. I'm finishing the last one before people start coming in for knit night. And I'll try to get some footage at knit night so you can see. But, well, let me show you. Show you the other girls. They're just up here sitting pretty with the Earl Grey. Thank you so much. Oh, great. Okay, so there was no making this morning because my crochet class, the ladies are all on vacation, and Sassy Jack's was open. So I ran to Sassy Jack's before work. And so I have some footage to put in. I just want to talk about what I'm wearing. This is my CGCG 80s Advents Granny Square sweater. It was an 80s theme, like Dukes of Hazzard. We've been over this with this sweater before in a few episodes, but that's what I'm wearing today. Was it too warm? Probably. So my hair's been up most of the day.